What is up, race fans? We have an extra special presentation tonight. We've got BruteDream up against the fantastic, the mysterious Racer X. We are going to have all kinds of fun tonight, kicking things off here shortly. Hope everyone's doing well. For those of us just joining in on the Super Series, this is a partial game category. We're going to get through about 1/3 of the game, ending after we get the Fly Honey after Boogie Tent. So, lots of randomness, lots of stutters, hopefully lots of slugs. We'll see the action starting off in just a couple of seconds.
Well, the agent for Racer X here, Airfram, representing Racer X right now. Racer X is ready to meet any challenge, despite, on the stream here, BruteDream taking a 10-second head start. Racer X is ready for any scenario and will amaze you.
Thank you, Airfram, for keeping the mystery. We are all blessed to have such a lovely racing team behind us.
I challenge chat to guess who Racer X is, and I will neither confirm nor deny because I am leaving the computer very shortly. Despite the predictions that I am Racer X from the Restream team here, because I have kids and I've got adult responsibilities.
That is a sticky wicket. I was lucky to get the little boy into bed just before the race, so... Itoy-san, I love that prediction. And the racers are off, collecting their cracked bat on the first loop through the house. Everybody has their own little taste on how they want to do this. Lots of people familiar with the manip have their static muscle memory, trying to keep things fresh. We'll see other people choosing to grab it a little bit later in the run for lag reduction purposes, but all a matter of frames. It is very much up to the user's preference. Got a casual walk up the hill here in the dark. We're gonna go check out our pseudo friend Pokey and see what he's doing, what he has to say about this loud crash boom bang we heard waking everybody up in the middle of the night. The first 8 or so minutes of the game are fairly routine. We will have a little bit of randomness to contend with here on the next trip up the hill. Lots of animal spawns to contend with and a few different challenges along the way. So we'll see how each runner wants to contend with it.
On an official note, just to let everybody know, this race is not being recorded in Racetime GG because of the Racer X. This race has been canceled because this is not a formal race against somebody who is known, even though I was representing X.
Represent, represent. Nice dodge of Mom there on Racer X's side, trying to get in the way.
Cool, even though I'm still in the voice chat for another second, do I have to hand the phone to the kid again?
As a fellow parent, I trust you.
Oh, I would do use this while I'm here. Hey, Ugo.
If I start doing combos
We're
before
gonna say, hey, Uko.
I get to meet my son. Taking a quick dad call before we get out the door. We're gonna see what the animals of Onett have in store for us. So dog spawn up in the corner there, no worries on that one, able to get it stuck behind the tree. The corner here can be pretty tricky. And a nice crow dodge there on Racer X's side. There's got a Sneck here that's kind of in a tricky spot with the extra spawns there. You can stutter past the snakes, but it's leaving yourself open to whatever spawns here around the corner, so trying to get that maneuvered over to a spot where maybe it can despawn and just taking that fight there. The Racer X had a quick climb up that hill otherwise. And a quick Sneck fight for Brute. Let's see what, ooh, and another dog right there on the corner. And that's the tricky part about stuttering past, so don't blame Brute for taking the fight. These despawns can be kind of annoying. You don't have a ton of room to work with here. This corner spot in particular is one of the bigger nuisances.
Ari, I hate to say, X did not make an appearance in the 2024 EBSS series, as far as I'm aware of. Unless we did an A
green
sequence.
swirl. Fortunate green swirl there. Pokey actually doing something useful for a change. Meanwhile, Racer X working their way back down the hill. We have Buzz waiting in the wings to help support us through our adventure. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Ooh, and Jimothy bringing in the spicy theories. Wouldn't that be something? Racer X getting started with the Starman Jr. fight. Fully scripted fight. We're going to have Buzz shielding us and then doing the heavy lifting on the damage. We want to see many charges forward to hopefully keep this down to a 2-round fight. On Starman Jr.'s side, ideally, we'll see some guards. The fire is going to be the slowest of the options just because it hits all of the enemies. So 105 is a nice start on that one. The freeze will only hit one of the kids, so we have fewer text boxes there, so that is the middle of the road option there, but we're hoping that we're just going to see one more big swing out of Buzz and Starman Jr. will be out of our hair. Brute's got the Buzz in tow. Ooh, and finishing off with the one hit. The 1 HP knockout. You gotta love it. Brute gonna stop and grab the bread roll on the way back down the hill, having the extra healing item going into the next round of fights as a nice little safety measure. Most will opt to not grab that on the first trip up the hill just in case they get the crow fights. They do love to steal our snacks, and we will have none of it. See how Starman treats Brute here. Ooh, and a 29. It doesn't get much lower than that. So this is gonna be at least a 3-rounder. Racer X saying goodbye to Buzz Buzz one last time and grabbing the Sound Stone. Making sure to mash the right buttons to get through the text boxes. Buzz Buzz will retell that whole story if you're not paying attention and you just keep mashing A. And you don't want to do that. Alright, and Brute is through the Starman Jr. fight. Is going to have a little extra experience because of the fights taken on the hill, so that should make the first Pogo Punk fight a little bit easier. We are all Racer X. Grabbing Mr. Baseball Cap and grabbing our trash burger before we go off to our shopping trip. Choosing to wear Mr. Baseball Cap for only about 5 seconds before we sell it. Nice work. And there goes. Bye-bye, Mr. Baseball Cap. Your service will not go unforgotten. Alright, Brute choosing the right text option there. Successfully avoiding the retext. Racer X into Pogo 1. Pogo Punk cannot stay on the Pogo. Super clean.
What a surprise.
Brute able to make it through the Onet Zoo without too much trouble. Hopefully Pigpen here stays out our way. Racer X just cruising through the Pogo Punks. Yes Man Jr. is down. Brute stopping to shop up. Choosing to go with the bread roll and saving the psychic points for the Frank fight. I can dig that. Ooh, and coming right out the gate brandishing knives. We hate to see it. We want to see that talking dirty. 10's not too bad. Having the extra life up here is nice in case he gets a few heavy hits off there, and a big smash knocking Frank down. Brute doing the despawn walk to avoid too many shark spawns into Pogo 1. Frankie Stein here on Racer X's side. Another mostly scripted fight here. You've got a wasted turn and then a weak or a heavy attack out of Frankie Stein, so we just have to make sure we're keeping an eye on our hit points. Ideally, we want to be healing on a turn where Frankie Stein is going to hit us, so we can max that hit points back out again and get a couple more good attacks in. Nice quick fight for Racer X. And out of the Frank fights in a low 13. Through the Pogo Punks. Gotta take care of the Yes Man fight here. Snacking down the bread roll. All right, and only 2 hit points lost from the Yes Man, choosing to just go right into the Frank fight. And also starting with a brandish. 19 hit points, that's dicey. And, okay, good, a weak hit there. Anything below about 21, 22 hit points gets real dicey to mash out. Cruising through some of those burgers, but that's alright, that's what we got them for. Alright, Brutus through Frank, very nice, with a full assortment of psychic points. Maxing out the hit points there. Should be one more hit to take care of Frankie Stein. Racer X loading up the backpack full of burgers before getting into Giant Step. Oh. I must have miscounted damage here. Alright, there we go. So Brute's through the Frankie fights. Love to see runners over that first hurdle there. And Racer X looks like setting up a single slug grind, possibly. Got a few enemies up there, waiting in the wings. This mouse here is kind of ruining the party a little bit. Oh, slick move. Looks like trying to get that mouse stuck over there. Oh man, and the mouse party is just not cooperating whatsoever for Racer X. Give Brute a chance to make up a little bit of ground here, stopping by Perkle to get the key to the entertainer shack. Gonna have to go restock on burgers because we did use quite a few of them in that Frank fight.
Who says Mouse isn't cooperating? Racer X is doing everything deliberately in their power for entertainment.
It's all for the content.
Be ready for craziness. That'll be any reason. Even if it's a death warp, it will be for the experience. A death warp back in this house, the experience.
If you're not ready for craziness, do you even Earthbound? There we
That's
go.
a good question. Must be a Mother 1 player.
I do need to revisit Mother 1 and Mother 3, to be perfectly honest with you. It's been a long time since I played either.
Mother 1 I still need to legitly finish, not with a cheat code. So I believe that's 5 slugs plus a mouse for Racer X. It's gonna throw off my experience math here a little bit. I do know the mouse and the Antoids provide a little bit more than the slugs, but ooh, that was a close one there. Should be able to use the iframes to get these other ones. Meanwhile, Brute's made up some ground, getting into Giant Step to start his own slug grind. See what kind of catch-up can happen here. Yes, the single grind here can set you up for a
bunch of extra rerolls on the 1 and 128, the fabled bomb drop. I do believe we saw one last night. Ooh, a slick butter there. Looks like Brute choosing to get rid of that mouse there on his own power. Oh, and there's a sneaky slug there underneath the mouse. And another pack coming to join. So I believe this is... Nope, gonna ditch the other ones on the left side there. Brute's got a 4-pack. I think 4 or 5 more slugs should do it for Racer X there. My math is a little janky on that one, but I know he's at least level 7. So we've got 4 slugs and 2 mice on Brute's side. And that lag is making those stutters a little bit tricky. That is one of the risks you play in Giant Steps, setting up the singles. Alright, and that 4-pack here for Racer X, I think that will push over the level 8 threshold there. I believe we're in the 12-ish range of experience for Brute. We'll see if we get the level 7 off of this one. Yep. The racers are really making commentary work to keep track of these things. I practice counting by 4.
I count by resetting by the 0. 0. 0. 0. That's 0. Everything is times by 0. Just don't divide by it. Henry Stickmin will tell you otherwise.
The universe may end. Racer X on the way to Titanic Ant. And a not-so-Titanic Ant on Brute's side. Some interesting grind strats on Brute's side there, and the double Antoid fight is a little bit sketchy. These can drag on a lot longer than we want them to, and they do not give up the fight easy.
Oh, this is entertaining. I'm getting DM predictions on who X is.
Ooh.
It's not a bad first round. 75. It's not terrible. Not great, but not terrible.
And a 95. That's a nice follow-up attack there.
Yeah.
Decent head start. Ant has not shielded yet. The magnet's nice. We've used all the psychic points we need, so that's just a dead turn for Ant. Another double Antoid fight for Brute here. Gonna be pretty close to level 8 at this point. I think we need one more big hit on Racer X's side.
Come on.
Shield is gone. Give him a good whack and get yourself out of there. All right.
There we go. Keeping my 0 Earth bucks in my pocket.
A slug and an Antoid here. Hopefully that'll push Brute over the edge. Still not. Still just a little bit short there. All right. The instant win for the level 8. Love to see it. Brute can get the heck on out of here and stock back up on psychic points before the Ant fight. Racer X working their way back. The cold remedy. Now we're getting crazy. What sort of shenanigans do we have in store? Fortunately, Brute not having quite enough offense for the instant win on the single Antoid there. We need 24 offense, and it's kind of up in the air whether you're going to get it at that level 8. Brute grabbing the extra burger for healing, so we don't have to dip back out and re-heal ourselves with psychic points. Want to go into Titanic Ant with a full reserve of those. We need all the rockins we can get. Not liking those spawns there. Oh, and the doorway spawn of the Antoid. You hate to see it. And just shy of knocking that out in one hit. So we got a joiner, unfortunately. Racer X getting into the cop gauntlet here. Starting off with a weak hit and a big smash. Cop 1 is down already for Racer X, bringing the pain to the Yonet police force. Alright, Brute going ahead and maxed out life. Will not have an extra life up here. We need to keep our fingers crossed that we can get both the rockets off before any shenanigans happen. Let's see if we can get a good first hit. Oh no. And there's the 5 psychic points we had as a buffer from the life up, unfortunately taken away. So we only have 1 rockin' to work with. I'm sorry, Brute. I take responsibility for that. And Ness missing is not going to help anything. If you could please do your job, Ness, I would really appreciate it. Meanwhile, Now, Racer X just whacking and stacking these cops here into cop 4. Ooh, and the smash to follow up the shield on Titanic Ant. That was nice. Of course, he's going to go ahead and re-shield. Still got a decent reserve of healing items here. Just need to keep the hit points maxed out. Racer X going into strong fight with a nice amount of hit points and 20 psychic points there, so we should probably see the rock and fall. Titanic Ant really looking for some more psychic points and not getting any. Brute is through Titanic Ant. Let's go. You love to see no ant deaths. Ooh, and a smash. Strong is all mad. Another smash. Oh no! Alright, we like the life up there. That was closer than we like to see. Strong getting mad. And a miss! Stop it! No, the misses! Oh, the gut save! What? 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 The gut save on 4 hit points, you gotta be kidding me! Racer X! What madness is this? Where did we find this character? Plot armor, indeed. Just when you think you've seen it all. Alright, Brute free of the giant step. We're gonna stop and refill on some burgers. He did have to use most of his snacks for that fight. Cop Gauntlet, you want to be extra careful for that. It's arguably the worst place to take a death, just having to redo however many fights you've already done. Racer X got the death corpse there at the department store. Brute into the Cop Gauntlet here. I'm still shook from what I saw in that strong fight. Nice quick cop there, leaving with a decent amount of hit points. Starting with the crushing chop there. Not the best heal on that burger. Do have some variability on the amount that the burgers are going to heal you. The life up is in reserve for when we need a big heal. Basically anything into the 30 hit point range, life up is pretty prudent. just to give yourself an extra chance at a double hit on the cops, and that is way too many boomers. Let's calm down, game. A big smash from Brute. Yeah, that mushroom was out for blood. Lucky for Racer X, that tree was there to intervene. Racer X grabbing the freebie butterfly on the way to the pencil statue. Refill some of those psychic points in case encounters happen. It's nice to have a little extra life up or an emergency rock-in if things get squirrely. Brute getting into the strong fight here. Ooh, a big hit to start off. No! No! The double submission hold. You hate to see it. Oh, and Brute getting set back. Did take the safety heal at the department store, so you don't have to do the bomb visit, which is nice. Is going to leave you in a bit of a predicament for psychic points in case unless we can farm a butterfly here somewhere in O-Net, which is possible. But not having to do the Paula text or the mom text or the Fuzzy Pickles man does save a little bit of time on the recovery there, but that's losing it at the strong fight is just brutal, having to do all of those over again. Okay, so Brute is going to stop at the hotel there and rest up. So we do have the Paula text, but don't want to go into the cop gauntlet without psychic points. Hopefully round 2 should go a little bit smoother. We've got the extra experience, the extra level from the first cop gauntlet there, so that'll give us a little extra fighting power. Racer X contending with some characters in Tucson there, heading back to the pencil statue. Oh, what a miss. Come on, Ness. Apparently Ness wearing Jeff's glasses today. Not what you like to see. We've got some rowdy UFOs on Racer X's side, not wanting to disappear. Oh, and we got in a bit of a pickle. That UFO is just determined. Ah, couldn't quite thread the needle through those sprouts. So one sprout down, kind of a low hit on the first one there. ahead and life up there to max out the hit points before finishing off this cop. Nice move for Brute. Alright, stage 4. So Racer X has another butterfly into the thick of PRV proper. Dealing with the corner from Heck here. So many spawn tiles here, and all of these enemies are just not something you want to deal with. Alright, Strong's getting mad right off the bat, giving Brute a chance to stock back up on health. A 39 for the submission hold is not terrible, and a 110 on the rock end, that ought to help us out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and opt to wisely heal there for safety. 73. Strong is down with another big hit from the PSI Racer X representing. Alright, a couple of ornery spawns here at the top of the plateau before getting into Happy. And ooh, are we going to see? Nah, opting not to. Racer X thought they saw an opening there to maybe grab the life noodles. Potential half Vogler setup. Or semi-Vogler. This doesn't have to be semi, it could be bus Vogler. Any kind of vehicle of your choice. Couple of suspicious looking mushrooms on Brute's side, trying to get out of Onet. Never to return. Racer X into the shack, grabbing the Franklin badge and preparing for ye old shack fight. Brute's gonna load up on money and prepare our story triggers. Pain attack. Called for help. We got Cultist C right off the bat. Let's see if the Rockin' takes care of it. 99 will knock that one down. 55 isn't going to help too much, and does not work on Cultist C. That's going to be a double rock, and Cultist D joins the battle. More rockin' should take care of both of them. We do not need Cultist E today. It's gonna leave Racer X a little short on psychic points. We'll see if we get the Miracle Butterfly and Happy. Egg. Whoa, the triple egg. We're into omelet territory now. That's what you do with $1 million, James. We're holding out hope we see chicken strats on the Boogey tent. Into the HQ fight and out of the HQ fight, and on to Car Painter for Racer X. Brute getting hung up here at Fart Cave. These spawns not cooperating. Doesn't give you quite enough room there right on the corner to despawn, unfortunately. Having to go back in and out of that door does chew up time pretty quickly. So no love on the reflex. Racer X is stacked to the rafters on hit points. One reflect. Back to normal. And Racer X is cruising right along. Nice move for Brute there, knowing the aggro radius of the mobile sprouts there. They'll chase you to the ends of the earth, but their aggro radius is on the smaller side, fortunately. Not quite as small as the boomers, I don't believe, but it is manageable if you know where to look. You can save yourself a lot of time throughout this run, knowing where you can despawn and where you can just avoid the enemies. Able to get around that too. And the mushrooms are just out in force today. And getting nabbed by a couple of dogs there. Just gonna rain psychic power on them and get the heck out of here. We just need to get our pencil statue and we can get back to work. Or our pencil eraser. Excuse me. Stocking up on the skips before Peaceful Rest Valley become a very popular strat again. I like to see it. The enemies in PRV are so fast and so wild. The little extra time it takes to use the skip sandwich is much better than any of those encounters, and Racer X able to get the UFO fight through the cliff there. We are seeing all kinds of wild methods, and that was a very nice death warp. Ooh, the Mondo Mole Warp, that would be something special, wouldn't it? Racer X is going to have some story triggers to plow through here. We'll see how Brute handles the next trip through PRV. And this cave is just being extra rude today. Alright, able to despawn there at least. You got some room to move once you get through the door. Into the real estate grind. Oh man. Digging deep for that one. NASA Future Tycoon in the making. choosing to skip sandwich here, having some extra mobility, getting through the corners. Alright, able to get around the first couple bends nicely, and a quick despawn there. Ooh, and Racer X got the hippie. A little hippie manippy for everybody. Oh, and this is an unfortunate fight here for Brute. The trees, when they die, like to explode and do tons and tons of damage, and if you don't nuke both enemies when that happens, you're in for a world of pain. Able to run away though, and burning rubber out of there with that skip sandwich. Yep, that is a good point, Leslie. We do get the extra experience for Paula. So they do have fire to work with, and a few extra levels to not have to contend with at Boogey Tent. The left side theater. Alright. Brute gearing up for the next couple of fights here, and we've got our dancing shoes ready on Racer X's side. No surprises in the cultist cave for Brute. We like to see that. The cave can be very dangerous. All of the cultist fights are pseudo-scripted, so we are not able to run away from them as much as we would like to. Thanks to ye old shack fight. See how Shaq Fu goes here. Come on, big rockin', no whammies. And it doesn't work on the thing. Come on, round two. Let's do it. All right. Rocket number 2 wipes the floor with him. Filling the hit points up back before the HQ fight. And we apparently have an around the world bus. No calls for help. Nobody interested in helping this cultist. This must be the biggest jerk out of all 300 in here. Racer X is apparently going to retry the Vogler. Oh, and he got the bomb drop. Now we can go back and fight Titanic Ant. Into the car painter fight for Brute. And a scratch on round 1 reflex. Ooh, and a big smash. 1 reflect ought to do her. There we go. 69 HP, nice. Alright. So Brute is through the car painter fight. Racer X and Life Noodles. Looks like Racer X is in need of a nap after the long walk through PRV. Do spawns turn off after the happy incident in PRV? Oh, when Runaway 5 comes out, okay. This is why we tune into Super Series, so we can learn all these things. That is just devious. That statement applies we were ever on rails. Oh, and Brute getting the photo trigger there. Have to sneak around the back to avoid Fuzzy Pickle Man. Alright, we've got Mondo Mole. Ooh, and a big hit on Paula. Not going to be able to get that fire off, unfortunately. And Rockin' does not work on Mondo Mole. That's unfortunate. Ooh, and the Mole is playing rough. $69 damage. Meanwhile, Brute here with the robo fight. A couple people got colds. This can be an effective way to get rid of an excessive amount of hit points if you don't feel like contending with the Mole playing rough. But they also like to miss. This is the tricky part about the PRV enemies, is they like to miss except when you want them to. But able to wrap up that death warp there. Dropping the bomb on Mondo Mole. Ooh, and the egg save. Oh. So no mole victory for Racer X. Where'd Racer X go? Racer X is extra mysterious now. I am learning so much today. Oh man, the Switch reveal. The evidence piles up on Racer X. Alright, so we've got a Death Warp down bus for Racer X. And Racer X is off to 3. Brute wrapping up the story triggers here. Gonna get our wad of cash, totally unsuspicious from Everdread. So today we learned that the bus turns off spawns. You can walk all the way back to PRV without having to deal with anything. And if you die when the spawns are off to Mondo Mole, it soft locks you. So that's very exciting. And a lot of spawns here for Brute. They're just all kinds of rowdy in Tucson. Oh, so it does keep technically running? You just have to play it blind. Well, that's fair. Alright, and Brute's gonna get their dancing shoes on. Well, that's really fun. It's all for the content, Hopelock. Racer X wants to provide entertainment and education for all of us. It's what makes them so special. right, I dig the Eggman dance. That's a nice one. So Racer X has gotten the zombie bunks and off to Winters. The proprietor here apparently can't see a giant stack of money across the desk, so we've got to go and get closer. What a creep. Right bus for Brute, heading off to Threed. Racer X has our bent key to go and waste our time before we can move on. That's right, Jimothy. Kind of friend who will give you the shirt off their back and also their back. Jeff making extra thorough sure to loot everything. I don't know if we'll see enough levels to actually repair the broken air gun, but you never know with Racer X. We've got the high cost of low prices for Bubble Monkey. BruteDream skipping through Threed. Oh, and that crow is out for blood. And a nice green swirl on the dog there. A little extra safety level for the true last boss. Brute getting the zombie bonk and heading off to Winters. We got Racer X stewing up before the chilly ride across the lake on our friend Tessie. Oh, and just a little low underneath the tent there. We're gonna get our Fuzzy Pickles man. Fuzzy Pickles. I have to wonder what Bubble Monkey would have done had Tessie not shown up at this point. I don't think that bubble is going to last forever, and I'm not sure how well monkeys can swim. It was pretty breezy. It's a bold move on Monkey's part, leaving herself at the whimsy of the wind. Makes the moves in the cave seem rather reserved. It's a sleeping cap. It could have some bone conduction headphones in there to play some white noise. Help him sleep through the night, except when Jeff is sneaking off. That is true. Jeff could also put a little effort forth and just step through the cliff there too. Really just kind of gave up the ghost, saw one obstacle in his way and just decided to not do anything. Oh, and almost sneaking by the duck for Racer X there. Just caught up on the monkey's tail. Duck falling down and spinning around. Fortunately, in Brick Road, there are no red swirls. There are also no green swirls, but since these fights are all labeled as scripted, and once you get through the fights and get out of Brick Road, the enemies do not respawn. Yep, we're all learning together. This is the kind of free education you can only find on the Earthbound Super Series channel. Half of the reason I like commentating on these races is because I always learn things. That's why I always listen to the commentary when I'm racing, so I can figure out what I'm doing wrong. So Racer X has escaped Brick Road. We've got Brute gearing up for the next Tessie ride. And Racer X right out the gate, stuttering past the mouse. These slugs are going to need a little bit of coaxing. And just choosing to take the fight, that's probably for the best. Slugs aren't super dangerous, they're just annoying, but it was going to take a lot of effort to get stuttered past those without eventually taking the fight. And a green swirl from Monkey. Wow, and blasting through Pond Cave for Racer X. Not an enemy in sight in room 3. That was a beautiful pond cave. Brute dodging down to the left here to despawn the 100% goat. No cave boy shenanigans, but opting to stop for the photo trigger to commemorate the visit to Stonehenge. Call for help fails for worthless proto, but we got a miss. Thanks a lot, Jeff. One more hit ought to do it. And the Mad Duck is tied up here a little too high for Brute, not really wanting to move around. Probably just going to have to take the fight. Yeah, I don't believe streaming is required. It's preferred just so we can join and cheer you on. And if you're pushing for world record, I know things get a little closer on the proof side when you're actually live streaming it, but I think there's quite a few people who don't stream regularly but will still submit runs. I'm wondering when Laserdisc is going to come back. They were still making them after the year 2000. They're still around. I always loved Laserdiscs. Those things were crazy. I nerd out on vinyls. I don't see why not. BruteDream into Pond Cave here, choosing the despawn net mouse and the crook. Oh, gonna go ahead and take that fight. Robbie mouse is down. Yeah, the shipping cost on that's a little outrageous. I'd say your PB would have to be pretty epic to make it worth it for you. If you send it postage due, the run will be rejected. Ooh, at just $1.99 a minute, you too can commentate for Earthbound Super Series. Oh! the garbage pail kids waiting for Racer X outside the grave there. And of course, Jeff is going to take the whack. Does still have ye old cup of noodles, I believe. Oh, that's a good call, James. You definitely want to make it economical. And fighting the despawns on these mushrooms. There we go. I love that story, Jimothy. Ah, so did use the cup of noodles apparently to revive Paula before the bus ride. So Racer X is going to be making a pit stop to revive Jeff, who so kindly died. And a big whammy on Tent there. GG's to Racer X. And no jar of fly honey for Racer X. Racer X may like to get the zombies stuck to make sure it's extra safe to check the trash can. The last thing you want to do when you're digging through the garbage is get snuck up on by a zombie. That's right, those zombie dogs don't play around. You've never seen a runner like Racer X, Shin. It's all for the content, Hope. Brute had already won before it even started. Racer X is kind of an unfair fight, having legitimate psychic powers. They're trying to keep things fair in the spirit of Earthbound. Well, I haven't watched Photo Percent in a while, but I completely forgot there was a photo trigger up here. Yes, if you've never checked it out, the Photo Percent run is a very interesting watch. It's heavily glitched, but you still get a ton of good content and figure out where all of the photo triggers are. And you get to see a record of your adventures at the end of the game. Good times. All right, creeping into the Boogey tent fight for Brute here. Teddy Bear taking a hit for us, 489. A little extra work to do. We do have fire to help us out. This next round on a wombo, the Boogey tent down to the ground. Oh man, that was the realest zombie ever. There's nihilism in whatever that zombie was on. Just gave up. Ooh, and a sneaky kid there. Ow! Dog party. And time. GG's to both racers. What an exciting day. I knew we were going to see some interesting things, but I had no idea what we were in for. Thank you all so much for joining. GG's in chat to Brute. Thank you so much to Racer X for bringing extra flair and whimsy to the Earthbound Super Series once again. Always a pleasure. Shoutouts to Derek on the restream there, holding it down. So when is our next race queued up? Check that out real quick. So I think... I'm not sure if this race... It looks like this race might have been rescheduled for mañana. So we've got a couple races coming up tomorrow. 8 p.m. we've got Lovebird 920 versus Brooke. And then I believe we've got James and Jossum Sauce doing tomorrow night at 9:30. So, more Boogey action to tune into tomorrow. Make sure got your notifications on there. Follow, subscribe if you're feeling squirrely. Support the Earthbound community. I think that's going to be all for me. Enjoyed hanging out with everybody. Catch you tomorrow. Same time, same station.